Hi everyone, welcome to Married to Malaysian, a podcast that explores the journey of multinational couple living in Malaysia and beyond. My name is Evan, I'm the host of this podcast. Today we have a very special guest of our friend, our very first guest, which is David and MK.
Woohoo!
Can you guys introduce yourself, maybe from David?
Great. My name's David. I'm living in Malaysia all my life. Born in KL, Sri Petaling area. Grew up and did homeschooling. So not typical Malaysian, but grew up here all my life until I was about 20. And then after that, I went to America, met my wife, got married, and then came back in 2021. Yeah, so now working in church and have a daughter. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Mary Kate. I'm the American. I'm from Texas originally, but I lived in Eastern Europe for about 11 years before moving back to Texas. And David and I met in Texas at university.
So that leads to our first question, which is like, how actually did you guys met last time?
You want to go?
Yeah,
or shall I go?
we can swap back and forth.
Okay, you go first.
So this was my junior year of college at university at Baylor. And I reached out to a friend of mine named Krista, who I hadn't seen all term. And she responded and said, of course, let's hang out. And so we set the date to meet for coffee. And there was some more stuff going on behind the scenes.
Oh, you want me to take over?
Yeah,
Okay,
go ahead.
yes. So, what happened was, basically, I needed to get out of the house, and I texted all my friends, and Krista basically saved me and was like, hey, you can come to my house for Christmas. So, stayed over in her house with her family, who happened to be Malaysian, very kind. And what happened was, as we were talking, she was like, hey, so what does your, future look like? Are you looking to date anybody? And I was like, nah, who's going to date me? And I want to get married and I want to come back to Malaysia. I was like, no, it's impossible. Nobody will ever consider dating me because it's just like, why would you, So then she was like, no, you can definitely find one. So she took it as a personal challenge, she was like, okay, David, we're going to have coffee. This girl. I was like, who? They said, don't worry, just come. And at the time I had a man bun. Ooh. And I had decided, I'm not going to date anyone, so I might as well just live my life, do whatever I want. I was going to dye my hair that semester, but,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I was going to completely change my look because I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to date anyone anyway. But then she said, like, let's get coffee with this girl. And so I went and cut my hair that day. And I knew that I was going to meet her, but MK didn't know she was going to meet me.
No, Krista texted me. She was about 45 minutes late to our coffee date.
Which is my fault because I was cutting my hair.
And she said, hey, can I bring a friend? And I said, of course, I'd love to meet someone new. And I thought it was going to be one of her girlfriends. Mm-hmm. If your girlfriend says, I want to bring a friend, you think of like a girl, right? And then Krista walks in and she has this giant smug look on her face, like, I know something you don't. And then in walks David behind her. And it took me a minute to realize that you two were together because then she introduced us. Yeah. And I was like, oh, he's tall, dark, and handsome. Very nice.
But two Asians walk into a coffee bar. You don't think they're friends?
Yeah, that's fair. We were in Waco, Texas, which had
very little Asians.
Very low Asian population. So makes sense y'all were together.
Yeah. So David really stood out last time.
Mm-hmm, yeah, definitely.
Like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
But I think I want to just ask the part where you actually say that, who want to come back with me to Malaysia? Because for sure that already that you're going to go back to Malaysia, right?
Yeah.
Does it mean that conversation already being asked to MK even from the beginning, even, I don't know how?
It was a long journey to first get started at dating. So very early on, I already told her that I am interested and would like to pursue a relationship. But I told her at the start, if we start this relationship, it means most likely we want to head towards marriage. And if we get married, you have to come back with me. Because I was very sure I was going to come back. So unless she was open to that, I told her, let's not even bother. Yeah.
How was your response then?
I loved that he was that direct. I'm very direct also. I would just say things, whatever I thought. And I thought it, reflecting now after living in Malaysia, a lot of Malaysians in dating culture, I don't feel like are as that direct. It's not defining the relationship right away so I thought it was very helpful to have that. And I said, okay, let's do it.
And we got married immediately.
Yep, right now. No, we didn't.
Okay.
Took a long time.
Okay, all right, cute. I think we already have like a background how you guys met, but I'll just want to introduce like today's topic to everyone. Actually, is actually a raising multinational kid, and yes, our guests here, David and MK, actually has one toddler and one is coming on the way, right?
I'm 7 months pregnant. Working on number 2.
Sorry.
Okay.
Second one
We
on the
just have
way.
audio of us screaming.
Okay, my question is, how did you guys navigate the conversation about having children? Is it from the beginning when you guys already dated and then yeah?
You want to go first? Or
Who
you want me
was
to go
that?
first? Well, I come from like a larger family. There are 6 people in my family. I grew up with 3 younger siblings, and so I knew from the get-go that I wanted kids and I wanted multiple children, not just 1 or 2. I feel like for David, you wanted
2.
2.
2 is great.
Yeah.
2 is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were very clear. And when we started dating, we came up with a bunch of questions that said like, what are our deal, no deal kind of questions? Like, if we're not eye to eye on certain things, there's not really a point of us continuing. And I think kids for us became very important of like, if you don't want kids and I want kids, it's like a no-go. So I think very early on, we were quite clear that we do want a family. Of course, I was very intimidated by the fact that MK wants 4 kids. We're still discussing what that looks like. We do have number 2 on the way, so my
working
quota
on
already
it.
is, like we're good. But yeah, I think from very early on, we were quite certain that kids were in the picture. And if it wasn't, I don't think we would have even continued dating, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You always see those movies of like a couple gets married and they're so in love, but then there's a big deal breaker that they probably should have discussed when they were dating.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm
Definitely.
so glad we could avoid that.
Yeah.
And your firstborn is actually born in Malaysia, right? Is there any like complication about like raising like kid in Malaysia as a like multinational kid, especially like she looks slightly different also. She also probably now like also like feels that she looks different.
Yeah, so David and I are both what you would call a third culture kid. And so David's home life was probably very different from his peers, and mine was the same, growing up in Europe for 11 years and then moving to Texas and already feeling quite different and kind of, displaced. So I feel like we can really relate to how SJ is probably going to feel growing up in a third culture kid kind of home.
Definitely.
Yeah, but we've definitely noticed some differences between, my family, if like my cousins who have young kids around SJ's age versus how our friends are bringing up their kids in Malaysia. So that's been interesting to kind of look at and piece apart and see.
Is there any other like complication or like challenges raising like a multinational kid in Malaysia?
So for me at this point, I told David in the car, I feel kind of outnumbered. And so now SJ, David, when we brought up SJ, we both agreed, okay, we're going to have her palate's going to be mainly Malaysian food. Like she loves her nasi lemak. She loves mamak food. She loves dim sum, hot pot, steamboat, K-barbecue. She loves all of it. And we recently realized that SJ does not feel like a meal is complete without rice or noodles. And so recently I made, what was it? It was butternut squash soup. And it was really good. We had bread with butter. Like it was with side of fruit. Like in America, it would be, it's like a well-nourishing, very healthy, very tasty meal. And SJ looks at me and goes, but where are the noodles? The soup doesn't have anything in it. And I was floored. I went, what have we done?
It's just like, no rice?
Yeah.
I'm still hungry. I'm like, you eat the soup, it'll be okay. But she wants.
Yeah,
she
so
wants
it's
the
really
rice.
neat to see how she has like a more American or Western food preferences, but also more Malaysian for the most part. And I love to see her grandparents, like David's parents, spoil her. Like they'll eat, what are the prawn crackers that y'all will eat, or even like dried
keropok,
fish.
all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, she loves all of it. Her fish has eyes. Like what were the little fish
A
that?
shishamu from.
Yeah, she'll eat the whole thing, and she loves it. And for me, I'm going, like I'm not, I can't do it, especially pregnant. Can't do the fish.
Yeah. For the context, like for the audience, I've seen before SJ's picture of her just like literally like eating the whole suckling pig, like the head part,
Yep.
I don't like
Just chewing on it.
She's a true Asian.
Yeah.
She will eat anything, Like
Yeah.
if it tastes good, I will eat it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's most important.
Yeah, so I think she's quite adventurous compared to the average American kid. The American kids, I feel like, have a stereotype of being picky eaters, like won't eat vegetables, but I feel like David's done a really great job of helping to expose both of us to like a wide range of foods. And you've also been open to Western foods, which has been sweet too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SJ also sunburns easily though, because like I think she inherited MK's. She may have inherited
Pasty
my
white.
palate, but she has inherited
Yes.
MK's nice skin. So because of that, we have to put sunscreen a lot, which I'm not very used to. Because most kids here, just let them out in the sun. Too bad. You burn, So,
That's
such
not
life.
true.
No. Parents here just like, let your kids go out. But
Depends on the parent.
yeah,
Parents like
no,
keep their
but
kids
here,
in.
it's so different. Like here, every day we put on sunscreen. We call the teacher and ask. Oh, I don't know, maybe. But every time I also call the teacher and say, make sure you put on sunscreen. And then if you don't, you can really tell. Like she gets very red. So I think just small things like that for sure.
Okay, then let's jump to something more practical. I think we also want to know like how's your experience when you guys have to register SJ in JPN, right? I think I have to ask my Malaysian husband, but yes, I think JPN, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah, I think actually because I'm the husband is Malaysian, it's actually quite easy. So we're very fortunate in that aspect because I think if the roles were reversed and if I was the wife as the Malaysian, it'd be a bit more difficult. But I think because I'm the husband, MK didn't even have to go. I just brought the letter. So the doctor hands you like a very important letter and she says, don't lose this, otherwise it'll be very difficult. So you take the letter, you bring it to the JPN office with all the details and you basically submit it and very quickly they give you the birth certificate. So actually the process is very fast. Also maybe it's just the location we went to lah. But mostly it's quite easy. But I do know that if the roles were reversed, I think it's a little bit more difficult. Like, so yeah, we're very fortunate that it's easier for the guy lah.
I think probably there are more like a question being asked, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
But they didn't even ask for anything. They just took the document and was like, yeah, okay, great. And MK wasn't even there. And so then they just gave us the birth certificate. And so I think within a week, we took it home. Yeah. So it's quite good.
It's funny though, on SJ's birth certificate, it lists my, ethnicity, and my ethnicity is American.
Yeah, that's right.
They didn't put Caucasian, they just put American.
You are American,
Yeah.
not Caucasian. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny. I forgot.
How about when you guys choose name?
Oh boy,
That was a long process for
it's a
us.
long process.
Yeah.
Oh man, we didn't know what to do. I think for a long time. And then MK wanted a more southern name, which is like a double name. So MK stands for Mary Kate, and then of course very southern to have two names. So how do we end up with? How do we end up on Sarah Jane?
Yeah, so I have several older relatives that have the name Jane in their family as like a second name. And then my sister's name is Sarah. And so I wanted to tie her name in and honor her. And then choosing the Chinese name was quite interesting. I kind of took a back seat and let David's more Chinese Malaysian side of the family handle that.
Yeah,
and
so
tell them about your family.
I texted my grandma and I was like, hey, we want to give Chinese name. And she was so excited. She was like, okay, great. We will definitely give Chinese name. And then she was like, it's okay. Usually the Chinese name is usually given to the guys, where the guys will have generational name because Hainanese is like that. But she was like, it's okay. All the girls from this generation on in my family will all have the generational name. I was like, wow. Auntie, grandma, very progressive, So she gave me a list. She said, you can do this one. So we went through. And so we just tried to find the one that is the same meaning as Sarah Jane, which is Princess of God's Peace.
God's grace.
Grace. Yeah. So Chuan En is God, grace as well. So we had that whole... It was a long process, but we basically still have that notebook at home. My grandma, very kind, she wrote down one by one all the letters and all the names one by one for us. And then she said, you can choose. And then she also wrote the meaning next to it as well.
That's so sweet of your grandma.
Yeah. She was so excited for us, so she wanted.
Usually, like what I know, if Malaysian Chinese, they're usually more traditional, and they will care more on the first generation, the generation to be like boy.
Correct.
Yeah, but it's really sweet.
Yeah. She's so kind. So, but we put the Chinese name in the middle. So like mine actually is David Fu Yong Zhen. So, but every time I go immigration or fly overseas, it's very complicated because Fu is my last name. So now to save SJ some trouble, we put Chuan En in the middle name. That way, when she sign document, it's easier.
All right, okay, let's jump into the final part of this podcast, which is the fun one. We call it stirring the pot. So the question to David and MK today is, caning, yay or nay?
So we've talked about this even before getting married, and I feel like we had very similar childhoods to where our parents would spank us, especially if we had been wrong. And so I didn't really grow up viewing that as a beneficial thing, especially now as an educator, as a teacher. I don't view hitting, in my personal opinion, as being that helpful for a child. And I never want our daughter to be scared of us. And so for me, I'm going to say no. I hope you feel the same.
Okay, I support her, and we have decided as a family we won't do caning. But I was definitely apprehensive at first because I was grew up that way, and I also grew up observing other families who didn't spank their kids, and in my mind I'm always like, that kid 100% needs a spanking. Okay, but not my place to say. And being a parent, I think discipline is important. The way you carry forward a discipline doesn't have to be caning. I think caning is an easy out. It's very quick. You show, and then pain is very easy to remember, like, don't do this because if not, you get caning. But I think if you have time as a parent, and if you have the headspace, I think you should take the time to explain. I think, and your children are very smart, they do understand, and you can explain to them very basic concepts of why something is right and wrong. And yeah, that means sometimes your discipline is not very quick. It does take a while. You have to do timeout, which is what we do right now. We have a timeout corner, which she doesn't like very much. But anyway, we put her down and we explain to her, like, hey, this is not okay. And it does take a few times to repeat. But I think it's better than the alternative, which doesn't really have clear guidelines, I would say. It's not really a good age to start, not a really good age to end. There's not really a standardized tool per se, right? I mean, you hear all your friends, oh, my dad got belt, hanger, so on and so forth.
Very creative with it.
Yeah, they get very creative. So I think even though I did start out as a nay, I have seen MK be very patient and very kind and very loving and be able to explain concepts even to our very young toddler. And discipline will continue to evolve as SJ grows older.
And smarter.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think for now we're still in the nay camp together.
Yeah, for now.
For now.
And for me
knows?
personally, I don't think I'd always be able to 100% of the time react to her with a caning with patience. I would never want to hit her and show anger, And so I don't think I'd be able to rein myself in. I know a lot of the times when you're trying to discipline, emotions can run a little high. Either you're tired, or a lady that's 7 months pregnant, I'm always tired. And so I don't trust myself to spank her if I'm not 100% calm or patient, So I don't think it would bring out the best in me.
But every family's got to decide for themselves, what's going to work.
Different things work for different families.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it for today. Thank you, David and MK, our very first guest. And you guys will still be in our podcast next episode. And for everyone else that enjoyed this podcast, Married to Malaysian, do give a thumbs up to this video. And also consider us of following our Instagram, Married to Malaysian. And we'll see you next round. Thank you. Bye.